low-key been going through some shit. I just had one of those random moments out of nowhere where I'm like, oh my god, I'm an orphan. I'm an orphan. My childhood friend, who was like a brother to me, like, not my blood, but I wouldn't have survived childhood without him. And he got murdered December 19th, 2019. And then my mom died January 12th, 2020. And then 5 years later, my dad dies in January. I can't even remember the date. I think it was 20. I don't even know. I can't think. It's fresh. January. My mom died in January. My dad died in January. 5 years and a week or two apart. And what is it about December and January? Christmas is going to be even harder now. And New Year. 5 years apart, my parents die. And not just that, my childhood friend, like, my mom and I just went to his funeral 3 weeks before my mom died. And now, like, I got my dad's death in there. And I just had one of those moments where I'm an orphan. I don't have a mom or dad. And, I'm 35. And I think back, like, Jupiter's going to be 8. And I think back when my grandma died when I was 12. My other grandma died, I don't know, I was around Jupiter's age maybe. My grandpa died so maybe it makes sense. My parents must have been. It's weird because my parents were both 28 when they had me, and I think I was around 28 when I had my kid. Is it normal? I don't know. I'm an orphan. And this thing's itching. I got a new thing. I'm not used to the spikes. Anyway, it's irrelevant. But anyway, I'm an orphan. I'm not crying. I'm not crying about it. I'm numb. I'm in that phase of grief where I'm numb during the day, but I have night terrors during the night of the memory of when shit hit the fan. Like, my dad lived for months when he was first admitted and in the ICU, and I watched him go through cardiac arrest. I don't want to talk about it. But I have nightmares. I guess my grief comes out in night terrors. I didn't sleep well last night. And I just, dropped my kid off school. I just took an energy drink. And I wasn't thinking about it. And then out of nowhere, I was like, oh shit, I'm an orphan. And I'm 35. How many of you have lost both your parents by the age of 35? Both. 5 years apart. How many of you lost your childhood friend? Not just that, like, unjustifiably murdered. And then your mom dies 3 weeks after. And like, Christmas was already hard. Like, I still grieve my mom and brother every Christmas since. And now it's going to be more rough, like, that time of year. I go into this I don't have depression. I don't have the chemical depression. I got PTSD. But that time of year is really hard for me, and I often have to put on a fake face for my kid because she really enjoys Christmas. And she's in the sadness, anger part of grieving. And I'm in the numb part. And it's because I'm in survival mode because there's so much shit getting thrown at me. Like, I cried the first week. And then all this shit, life keeps throwing not lemons, but fucking rocks at me. Daggers. Life is throwing daggers at me. I don't got time to break down. And it's like... But then out of nowhere, maybe it's grief I'm suppressing. It just comes out of the box. It's like, hey, you're an orphan. Yeah. And it's me and Jupiter against the world. And like, what if something happens to me? Should be an orphan. Oh Lord, I gotta keep going. I gotta survive. And I've been, survive. I gotta get an MRI still. I proactively work on my health. I'm a little behind, but I'm working on it. It's just a lot. I'm doing a lot behind the scenes. She don't even know, and sometimes it's hard to hide from her how stressed out I am. But I explained, I'm honest with her. Honesty is a big thing in our house. And she asked why I don't cry about Grandpa. I say, well, grieving's weird. It has different stages, and they're not in any specific order, and it can last for years. Everybody's different. And I said, baby, I'm just in that part where I'm kind of numb. Well, I understand you're in a part where you're sad. And I said, it's just, I empathize with her. And I said, I'll eventually cry. This is not right now. And, yeah, I'm just venting because, like, I don't know her. I'm just trying to clean. Because when she goes to school, I clean house and I make phone calls, and then something random will pop up. Like, my landlord's just been randomly coming over working on the house, which I hope she doesn't do on Jupiter's birthday. Just like, I don't know where. But anyway. I got her back in therapy, so that's good. Like, I can only do so much, like, what I've learned in therapy, pass on and be there for her and empathize. And another thing, what's weird about the head trauma, it's made it hard. Like, I can only really empathize through memory. Unless I really love the person, it's more easy to empathize, like, with my kid. And with a couple friends. But in general, it's like, I do lack emotion aside from memory. Maybe that's another part of it. I really feel pain with my mom, dad, and brother's death. And I really feel pain, my kids' pain. But, like, when it comes to people I'm not connected to, I don't really know. It's harder. And I have to, like, if I have to be there for someone I'm not that close to, I have to rely on empathy via memory and put myself in their shoes, in a sense, like, oh, I remember what it was like to scrape my knee. I can't feel their pain anymore, but, like, I want to use that memory to try to comfort them. It's weird. Like, the head trauma kind of dulled my emotions. And I'm just ranting. I got shit to do. Procrastinating a little bit because I'm overwhelmed. These are my dad's earrings. Jupiter has his other pair. And I don't know, I just had a moment. And I'm really scared. Like, I'm doing okay with my health problems. I'm hanging in there. I'm trying to get the rest of it. I've been getting hiccups for no reason. It's stupid, just out of nowhere. But anyway, I'm hanging in there, and I'm trying to get these tests I got to do done before summer break. And I at least want to be alive and get her into adulthood. And I got a really good doctor. See, it makes me think about this stuff too. First it goes, oh my God, I'm an orphan. And it's like, oh my God, I'm all Jupiter has. I can't just leave her be an orphan so young. I got to get her into adulthood. I got these health problems, but at least I'm doing decent. I'm hanging in there, but I got more work to do, and I'm working on it, and I'm fighting. I got a really strong mind. And it's constantly at war with my body, but I really feel like the mind over matter thing, like, my mind is stubborn. And, but I have this, like, fear. I have this, like, low-key fear, like, oh my God. But I think I'm 99% positive I'll get her into adulthood before I die. I don't want to die. I got a DNI, though. I don't want to be... I've seen the trauma of being incubated with my dad. And I just got a flashback of that. That's why I got a DNI. Not DNR, though. Chest compressions. But, I think I'll be alright. I'm really proactive with my daughter. Oh, my doctor and daughter. I love her so much. I don't want to leave her behind. I just needed an event so I get back to work. Because I had one of those moments. It's so weird. I'll be just, like, not thinking about it. And then I'll have that moment. And then it's just, like, I feel numb. And then the grief will come out in night terrors. And then I'll think, oh my God, I gotta stay alive for my kid. And then, like, just in this rant, that's where my thoughts go for a minute. And then I gotta just pause and be like, okay, hold up, rewind, get back to what I'm doing. Because I gotta schedule my MRI today. I gotta clean house. I got stuff to do. And then my landlord's probably gonna randomly pop up and interrupt again. But, oh, and I'm dealing with this scam too. Like, that stupid, I don't even want to go there. But anyway, yeah, rewind. I don't know when I'm going to break down and cry. Probably when I get a moment to breathe, like, which I don't know when. But grief is weird. And just, like, if you're going through grief, like, don't feel bad. Like, it doesn't, I know there's stages of grief, right? But in reality, it's not a specific order. It's going to be chaos. You're going to go through stages out of order, and sometimes it never ends. I still grieve over my grandmother who died when I was 12. Sometimes that'll hit me out of nowhere. You know, I was really close to her. And Christmas and New Year's is not happy for me at all. But I try to fake it because it's happy for my kid. And, but yeah. And just don't beat yourself up over grief because it's different for everybody, and not everybody gets over it within a couple years. Like, I've heard people tell me, like, oh, it's been 3 years. Like, I literally had someone tell me, it's been 3 years since your mom died. Like, why are you still crying on Christmas? And it's like, well, good for you. You got over your alive mom's death in 3 years. You know, like, fuck them. Grief is, different for everybody, and the stages are out of order, and it could be forever. And it could be certain times of the year it could hit harder than others. But I'm done venting. Okay, rewind, reverse. Back to what I was doing. I just wanted to vent because it happens out of nowhere, and that's just, it is what it is. And rest in peace, Dad. Rest in peace, Mom. Rest in peace, AJ, my brother. I love you all. I still think about you. Even if I feel numb, this is the stage of grief I'm in, but I still deeply love you all, and so does my kid. And even though she never got to meet you, brother, I tell her all about you all the time, and how cool you are. And all right, peace out.